All right, I'm going to have you do another EverFi module. And so I want to remind you of how that works. So you're going to go to EverFi and you're going to log in. So the username and the password you're going to use, I've got included in the Schoology assignment. So you can just put that information in just as you did. If your password doesn't work, that means that at some point in time you changed your password and you didn't tell me that you did that. So don't bother giving EverFi your email address, letting them know what your email address is, because they don't know your email address. I don't want them to know your email address. So I can reset your password. You have to send me an email or talk to me in a Zoom session, and I will reset your password to the default, which is what I told you it was going to be down in the assignment details. Once you log in, if it's the first time that you logged in, uh, they will ask you to change your password. So put in the password that I told you to put it in, so that it doesn't change. And then the first time they're going to give you a short survey just finding out how much you know about EverFi. If you've already been to EverFi this year, then you won't do that again. And at that point, you're going to go to your main screen and you're going to see the 7 EverFi modules. And you're going to select the one that I'm having you do for this assignment and work your way through it. Let's take a look at the screen so that you can see. All right, so if your screen looks like this, so this is the banking basics module. And let's say that you are at this screen and you're stuck. You can't figure out how to move forward. This screen you shouldn't have any trouble with, but what you want to do at this point to figure out how to get unstuck is you're going to click on the home picture, and this takes you back to the main module page. So this was the banking basics module. So if I click here, you can see how it says up here that I'm 15% complete. So what you're going to do at that point is you're going to send me an email or see me in a Zoom session, or you can do the same thing with Miss Walters if you are in contact with Miss Walters, and let us know which module you're on and what your progress is, where you're stuck. Because we've got a spreadsheet that we put together of all of the places where people commonly get stuck. And we can say, oh, okay, you need to do this and this in order to move on to the next screen. 90% of the time, it's really obvious what you need to do, but there are times when people would get legitimately confused. So don't let that frustrate you. Just go through those steps and we can get you back on your way again. At the end of the module, there's a 10-question quiz. And in order to pass the module, you need to get at least 7 out of those 10 questions right. So there's a little bit of a hack about this, that at the end, when you finish taking those 10 questions, what they're going to do is they're going to give you a fact for every one of those questions that you got wrong. So if let's say you got 4 out of 10 questions right, there's going to be a list of 6 facts that if you had known them, you wouldn't have gotten those 6 questions wrong. So what you can do, you can retake the test as often as you want. And if you take a picture of that screen telling you those 6 facts, you can then see when you retake the test which facts you need to look at in order to correct your answers. You won't necessarily see the same 10 questions when you retake the test, but there are only 10 facts in the quiz. So, fact number 4, they might ask that in 3 different ways, but the same fact would get you through all 3 of those questions. So keep on working on those problems until you've gotten 7 out of 10 correct. And let me go back to that screen for a second. So there are a total of 7 modules here. And I don't allow you to do back work. That's one of our rules for this year. But the one exception is that you should completely work towards completing all 7 of these modules. So if there's a module that I assigned a month ago and you didn't do it or you didn't complete it, you'll definitely want to go back and do that again, because getting towards the middle and the end of the year, there will be major assignments that require you to be caught up, and whether that takes no work on your part or a lot of work on your part, you'll be able to get credit for your work then. The other thing is that I will assign all 7 of these over the course of the year. So if you are feeling bored someday and you've got a half an hour or 45 minutes at your disposal, you can sit down and do one of these modules that we haven't covered. So maybe you're interested in credit and debt right now. Even if I haven't assigned it, even if we haven't learned anything yet in this class about credit and debt, you can still do that module in EverFi. These modules are really well self-contained, so they'll tell you everything you need to know in order to pass the module. And then you'll just be a little bit more familiar with the topic when we cover it in class. So being able to work ahead in class is something that you can completely do, but be sure that you do your old work and get caught up as well. All right, so that's just a little bit of a review of how EverFi works. And so good luck and enjoy the module that I have set before you for this week.